What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. This just in, a Power Play with CJ HQ. Peter Chiarelli will be the general manager and president of hockey operations for the Edmonton Oilers. Tip of the hat to Mr. Chiarelli for getting the gig, and I just think it's good for him, good for the Oilers. I've changed my tune in the last week since Chiarelli got fired. His draft record was abysmal. I mean, Sagan, Dougie Hamilton, and David Pastrnak appears to be a great player. But with Sagan and Hamilton's case, they're both top 10 picks. I mean, kind of hard to screw that up, although enough teams have. Edmonton's done a bad job drafting outside of the top 10 as well, so kind of an interesting situation there. But it's good to have someone doing stuff in Edmonton that isn't a former player for the Oilers, that wasn't a member of the glory days back in the 80s, and it's still the 1980s, and things are gonna work that way. As much as I think Chiarelli got a bad rap in Boston, it turns out I guess Neely was the one that wanted to kind of stand pat at the deadline the last 2 years and not give up too many assets to help the team, and I think Chiarelli kind of took the fall for that. In retrospect, it's like, you can't let the guy general manage with one hand tied behind his back. It's not. And then when it doesn't go the way you want it to go, fire him. It's kind of not fair. But again, his draft record is bad. It's really, really bad. But I'll tell you one thing: he won't screw up the first pick in the draft. I mean, if I'm going to take over as GM of the team and we have the number one pick, I want McDavid to be on the board because pick me. Obviously, anytime you can get Connor McDavid is definitely a good thing because he's a franchise-changing type player. Now, how other things fall into place, I don't know. If the new Bruins general manager fires Claude, does Claude go to Edmonton? That's a possibility. I don't think Babcock's going there. I still don't think Babcock leaves Detroit. I really don't. Maybe I'm naive in that regard, but I don't think he'd leave it for Edmonton, even with all that young talent, especially McDavid. Just don't see that fit. My issue with Claude in Edmonton, first of all, they'd be better defensively overnight. As much as you can give Claude all the shit in the world, they wouldn't be as atrocious in terms of giving up scoring chances. But he's got a track record of, how do I word this? Not being great with younger players, and this is a really young team. But I mean, I think he's a good enough coach and a good enough hockey mind that he could, definitely make that adjustment. And we'll see how that works. I mean, the Bruins still haven't fired Claude, so that could go any one of a number of ways. But as much as I was maligning Chiarelli a week ago, in retrospect, and then reading some of the reports that came out, it's like, kind of got a bad rap and a kick out the door. So I think he's in a good situation. I think Edmonton's in a good situation with him. I hope for the Oilers' sake he's better at drafting outside of the top 10 than he has been in Boston. And, we'll see how that works. Different scouting staffs, what have you. But it's also worth noting Craig McTavish is not listed anywhere for the Oilers media release today. So that could be interesting because obviously, McTavish is synonymous with running this team into the ground, and that's wow. Could be an interesting situation watching Mac T get the door today. Anyway, that's all I got. Sort of the power play with CJ on the Edmonton Oilers hiring Peter Chiarelli. Stay tuned for episodes for the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.